I want to approach this, what I'm about to say, understanding what we're doing here. We're having so much fun, guys. Like I never knew that spending Saturdays, the day that you're supposed to have off with Tate and Joel and everybody who's worked so hard to make Ringer Tailgate would be so much fun. And we want you guys to have fun. And we want you guys to have fun with the games today. And we want you guys to have fun with the games tomorrow on Sunday when you're watching the NFL. Somebody who won't be playing tomorrow when the NFL games come on is Kyren Lacy. He's he was a wide receiver for the LSU Tigers that took his life earlier this year. And even in saying that, it there's the reports are that that's what happened. I just don't want to assume anything. If you guys don't know what happened, Kyren Lacy was hit with a litany of charges, and those charges were pretty bad. He was essentially accused, arrested, and charged with negligent homicide and the death of a war veteran, or should I say a military veteran in Louisiana. And the judgment was swift. It was swift on social media. It was swift by members of the news media. A lot of people had a lot of things to say. When Kyren Lacy died, a lot of people, including myself, thought that it was maybe that he could not live with the shame of what he had done. It almost seemed, if I'm being completely honest, that his death was an admission of sorts. That the things that he had been accused of that had not been adjudicated in criminal court, that they were true. And that maybe they were eating the kid up, someone who was beloved by his teammates, beloved by the LSU culture, beloved by all. I didn't know him. I didn't know his family, but he was a popular, lovable player. And maybe he just couldn't live with it, couldn't live with the burden. This past week, a video came out, and the video came out from Kyren's lawyer, and it proved pretty definitively to me that he simply did not do what he was accused of doing. I do not know the ins and outs of the case. I don't know the ins and outs of driving at a high speed or whatever, but I do know that what it was said that he did, from what I watched, as explained by his lawyer, it doesn't look possible that he did it. You can see it, it's on tape. And not only is that on tape, what else is on tape is body cam from a police officer seemingly coercing someone into accusing or placing blame on Kyren Lacy for something. You see it and you can hear it. Obviously, it's been everywhere. Everyone's seen it. Man, I'm begging for y'all to treat these people like human beings. I'm begging. I'm begging you, man. I'm begging for y'all to treat these young men like human beings, man. I'm begging. I'm begging. It's just very difficult to talk about. It's very difficult to sit here, and I can't even look at the camera, because if you just were around and saw just the love, the focus, the sacrifice, the dedication, the perseverance, what it takes for these young men to get to a place where their lives are valuable to a society that doesn't value their lives. That what if everything that you did that was deemed good was based upon how fast you ran, how high you jumped, or how far you could throw a ball? And then in 1 second, someone goes, nah, you are who I thought you were. That's the thing. The thing is, and I'm not going to drone on, the thing is that oftentimes as a black man, particularly a young black man, from a certain situation, there is this belief that you don't have any worth. and that you have to do something.
Mhm.
You have to prove yourself in the eyes of the white gaze to prove your worth. And then if something else happens, boom, he is who we really thought he was. Kyren Lacy did not did not take his life because he couldn't live with what he did. He took it because he couldn't live with what they were saying he did. That the stress and the weight of all of the things that came out, the fact that he wasn't given the opportunity to be a full person when he was accused of something, or that something that he was accused of in the first place was thrust on him because of who he was, that he couldn't get around that. Now he's not here anymore. You guys think it's an extraordinary case. It's very familiar
Mhm.
about people who cannot live with this albatross around their neck. I have not. I legitimately haven't slept well.
Yeah, man. That's man, Van, that's so well said. And I'm glad we made space for that because yeah, this has been a great day of football. But that is a really sobering thing. And I think people, my career just a little bit about it was that I got to cover crime or cops, in a bunch of places, Dallas, Shreveport, Tampa, whatever, Atlanta, like I've covered it in a lot of places. And the one thing that I can say without inflaming a lot of people is saying that this is why we don't convict people based on police reports.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that's why, that you are allegedly presumed innocent until proven guilty, and you're supposed to have your day in court. And people are theoretically, like sometimes, I mean, something can be so obvious as that, or it can seem as obvious as that, well, we can pretty much reasonably guess as to this person's doubt, guilt or innocence. But none of us knew anything. All we were reading were news accounts of police reports, and we drew a lot of conclusions about who Kyren Lacy was and what he had done. And the thing about if you've had enough time to go over police reports and cover crime, you find out a lot of times that those reports are bullshit. You know what I mean? Like the information in them is bullshit. And sometimes it's not because people are trying to fuck with somebody's life or whatever. It could just be often the police officer, the sheriff's deputy shows up after the thing happened and they got to ask people around, hey, what happened? Because I wasn't here. So that's why you have eyewitnesses. But um, it's just important to remember that if there's anything I could say about this is that you don't have to believe everything in a police report. You can wait. You don't have to make judgments about what is going on. And the last thing I'd say about that is, man, I have a son and a daughter, bro. And I was thinking about this today because I've thought about like times in my life where I was like, man, but for the grace of God. But how do you explain to your kids that like, man, sometimes life is just really unfair? Like you will get
Mm-hmm.
fucked. Like life is going to hurt you. And there may not be anybody that can help you out of it, right? Like there may not be a way out of a situation. Like there's just sometimes for no reason at all, or sometimes some really people sometimes just want to perpetrate evil against or hurt people for whatever reason. And how do you explain to them that like a lot of times the way you get to the other side of life and you get to grow old and have whatever success is and experience love is by sheer luck. Like sometimes somebody you got lucky, nobody fucked with you. Congratulations. And so I was just trying to think about like if Kyren Lacy had been my kid, like what I would have said to him, like to keep him going on another day. And man, yeah, man, that just sucks, man. And it's just one of those things about, I hate to say it, I don't want to, spoil everybody's fun, but sometimes being black in America, you like to think about that kind of stuff. Just like it kind of sucks that even if people think you have some sort of worth or you're valuable to people, that it can just go from you in an instant.
And those judgments hold so much weight, and they happen without any knowledge. And Kyren Lacy deserved better. I mean, that's just really what it comes down to. And he is an
Absolutely.
example of so many that also deserved a whole lot better. And I think both of you guys made great points about that fact. And just reading this story, hearing his lawyer present the facts and just talk about their conversations that he
Shout
had
out
with
to that
Lacy.
man.
Oh man, for seriously,
Man.
bro.
Jesus Christ to that
What a
man.
man. Yeah, man.
He said, I
My
got you,
God.
dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
He honored that man's legacy for real. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.